Hello, it's Adam Morrison. When it comes to top-tier contracting, my go-to choice is McGillivray Environmental. I know a thing or two about excellence, and that's exactly what you'll find with Kip McGillivray and his team. They're not just any contractor, they're the best in Spokane and North Idaho. From start to finish, they ensure your project is completed with the highest quality results. With years of experience and expertise, they handle it all. New construction, meticulous repairs, asphalt paving for residential and commercial properties, excavation, and even environmental remediation. So why wait? Reach out to Kip McGillivray Environmental today by calling 208-556-6384 for your free estimate. Don't forget to mention my name, Adam Morrison, and experience the difference McGillivray Environmental brings to the table. Again, that's 208-556-6384, McGillivray Environmental. My number one choice for all my contracting needs. M4 CPA is a family-owned accounting firm passionate about helping businesses and their owners create a secure future for their families. They pride themselves on the quality of their work and put their clients first, ensuring they get the attention and care they deserve. Their mission is to provide exceptional accounting services to help you achieve your financial goals. M4 CPA is all about building long-term relationships based on trust, integrity, and transparency. With a team of experienced professionals, they offer personalized solutions to meet your needs. If you're a Perimeter listener, here's an exclusive offer for you. Mention the Perimeter podcast when you reach out to M4 CPA and get a free business consultation to assess your financial strategies. So, if you're looking for an accounting firm that truly cares about your business, trust M4 CPA. Accounting you can trust with a personal touch. Learn more at m4cpa.com.
Welcome to the Perimeter, Season 5, Episode 21, presented by McGillivray Environmental, Idaho Central Credit Union, and M4 CPA. Great week. We'll recap the Oregon State Santa Clara, last time playing in the WCC. I'll talk a little bit about the St. Mary's deal that didn't happen.
Right.
A lot of people expected. It was the first time in like 6 years or something, I think it was, that they haven't played each other in the championship. Gonzaga and St. Mary's.
Yeah.
So it was pretty, I wouldn't say the word shocking because Santa Clara is a really good team, but it was, I guess, surprising. You kind of just penciled them in, but watching that game, it was kind of like, but it was a fun game to watch. And then we'll give our little bit of predictions of what we think the NCAA tournament selection Sunday's coming up, and, kind of predict. Usually the Lenardi and the other guy from Fox are pretty dead on, bracketologists or whatever. And we'll, kind of go over that. So, first we played Oregon State. It was kind of a dangerous team because they're talented enough to go on a run. And then they had the Wayne Tinkle, who was coaching his last game. And so you just never know, what a team, how they're going to rally. And I thought for the most part, they gave a good effort, and that's not like a pity thing, but they just didn't have any legs. And our defense in the first half was absolutely terrific. We held them to 8 of 28, 3 of 14. They were shooting a ton of threes. We started off poorly on offense, but our defense carried us. We had a couple turnovers early, just kind of getting the jitters out and just, had a little bit of a break, all that stuff. And just kind of rolled. It was, what was the score in the first half? Let's see here.
38-24?
Yeah, 38. So we're up 14. And just kind of coasted the rest of the game. We went them by 9, but it was more like a 15-point lead the entire time. They made a couple threes late. There was never a point in that game where you felt like they were going to make a push to win. And we just kind of ho-hummed it, and that's the best way to describe it. We didn't shoot it good in the second half, or 10 of 25. Shot it good in the first half, 15-28, filled 53%. We go 47 overall, 3 of 14 from 3, not good. Obviously, do a good job on the glass. We went, let's see here, +2, 17 assists, only 10 turnovers. That's not terrible. So, yeah, it was just a kind of a game where this wasn't very aesthetically pleasing, but our defense was terrific.
Yeah.
And they just didn't have enough offensive firepower. We did a good job on their best players. The Psy kid, who was a good the French kid that out on the perimeter was good. We, just basically kind of held everybody down. Yak only went 1 for 9. Des White went 2 for 9. You know what I mean? We just did a good job. They went 19 of 56, shot at 30. That's 33%. Not good at all, obviously. 6 of 25 from the 3. That was one of the things they shot it really well. They had 11 threes against USF the night before. So the main scouting report was like, you just guard the 3 line, guard the 3 line, guard the 3 line. The guys did that. And Graham had a terrific game, played 36 minutes, went 10 of 17, 11 rebounds, 24 points. Everybody else scored under 10. We had nobody that scored had double figures. Davis played solid. He had 9 in 20 minutes, had 6 rebounds, 2 assists. He had a couple bad turnovers early. It was weird. He was just trying to pass too much, and then he finally, in the second half, started to score and attack the basket and stuff like that. Tyon played good. Had 17 minutes, had 8 points off the bench. Braden Smith had a nice run in that first half, gave us 5 points. That he hit a 3, hit the only 3 or the first 3 of the game, and then had that breakout layup. He's played good off the bench. We got to give him credit, honestly. For the most part, he's been solid and doing exactly what he's supposed to do. So it was a good win. It was not very challenging, and that's not I'm not saying that in a negative way, but it was nice to we didn't have to drag out a game like that. Yeah. So we kind of were like, yes, all right. And then we were the first game. It's a big difference, man, from playing from 6 or 9. Yeah. And then literally you can get back, you can feed your guys, and you can kind of watch the game, and then you can kind of get a scout in if you wanted to. That night, you can do a quick, you know what I mean? Once the game's over, okay, we already have the Santa Clara or St. Mary stuff. You can get a 30-minute film session done fast, and then get your guys to bed. Then you don't have to get them up as early. It's way better than playing that 9 o'clock game. So that's the beauty of getting the first seed. So we finished that one up, and Huddy and I have an hour post game, so we saw a little bit of the first half, maybe into the first media, and then we're like, all right, let's get out of here, we're starving to death, let's go get a beer, blah blah blah. So we went somewhere and watched the game, and right from the jump, Santa Clara was extremely. No, Santa Clara St. Mary's was extremely aggressive, and I think that took it caught St. Mary's a little bit by surprise, just early in the game. I know they ended up having a 4-point lead at half, but it just felt like Santa Clara was just downhill the entire time and really putting pressure on them because they split during the regular season, but St. Mary's blew them out at their place, and it's a real rivalry. St. Mary's has kind of owned it of the last 5, 6, 7 years. Yeah, but they do not like each other, and you can tell. So it was a fun game to watch. Especially in the first half. And that was interesting because Santa Clara did what they did to us, but they just pressed, man pressed the entire game. And I thought that was a good strategy against St. Mary's. You kind of just, they want to play slow, but you want to speed them up to just so they can't grind you down with 17 ball screens every possession. You got to get them, take 8, 9 seconds off the clock, and then they can only run 3. You know what I mean? You just kind of have to speed them up a little bit. Come on, you got to play faster. We're going to play faster. And because they don't, in theory, they don't want to throw ahead and go try to break that press. You know what I mean? They want to throw ahead to get it across and then throw it back to their guard. So it was interesting seeing that strategy. And then I thought in the second half, Santa Clara just made big shot after big shot.
They did. They really did.
And it was a fantastic game to watch. Mikey Lewis was terrific for St. Mary's. Morauskas was terrific for St. Mary. It was just a good basketball game to watch. Yeah. And, it was weird because, we had other Zag people around us, and we were asking each other, well, who do we want to play?
Yeah, that's exactly what my son asked me.
Yeah, because you're kind of we want another crack at St. Mary's. Yeah. And it's the last time we'll probably ever play them, unless something weird happens. I don't ever see us getting into a series unless they go neutral, a neutral game maybe. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, then you're aesthetically, it's a better game to play Santa Clara because they play more open. Yeah. And so, do we want our last game to be a fist fight, or do we want to play hoops? You know what I mean? And then because they're both quad 1 type wins if you can get them. So
that's true.
So it was kind of weird because I wanted another crack at St. Mary's, but then also I'm God, I hate when we play them in the tournament because sometimes the officiating is just so bad. They just get away with two hands on the driver. They push guys in the back, and you're just like, you can't not call this shit. You know what I mean? You have to call this stuff, and I think they get away with it. Not a bad way, but it's just one of those deals where they continue to play that style, and officials are like, I can't call everything. You know, it's like you call holding on every pass. You know, in the NFL, you could,
right?
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like it's one of those deals. Like I can't call every play. So when Santa Clara hit that big shot, that the Serbian kid or whatever hit that big shot in the corner, it was like, well, so long, guy. You know, it was kind of like funny. Like we were like, that's kind of funny. You know what I mean? So I think everybody was mostly happy just from a sense that we don't like St. Mary's, and then like just from an aesthetic thing, we're like, it's way more fun to play Santa Clara. Like literally, it's just a better basketball game.
Yeah.
But I think St. Mary's was like literally shocked because
they look shocked.
Because I think they've had their number for the most part. But Santa Clara in that game was just like kind of the aggressor, and they made big shot after big shot. They had that play too. It was out of a timeout, and it was brilliant. Like nobody caught it unless you're like kind of in the know. Is the Graves kid, number 22, I think is terrific. Like he looks like and not just like he looks like him, but he plays like Anton. Like that kid's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's like, if he hits the portal, it's like he's gonna go somewhere. You know what I mean? Like he's really good. Anyway, they ran a stack play where they, out of the timeout, they like literally signaled to the bench like, hey, we're running this. And so the St. Mary's bench like was like, here's the play, and then they ran the opposite action. Like it was perfect. And he got that wide open like dump down on the stack play.
Yeah,
it was like a big bucket out of a timeout. It was like, that's really good coaching, because they like set it up like, hey, we're calling this. Everybody be like, yeah, and then they just ran the opposite action, boom, because they knew there was going to be a switch, easy slip, like wide ass open layup. So like when you were watching, like, oh man, that's really good. Like that's how good of a game it was my point. It's like they were out scheming each other, big shot after big shot. And then so Santa Clara wins, and so it's like, all right, so like going into that game,
The Perimeter will be right back after a word from our sponsor.
It's time for Home Team Rewards. Zag fans, get your Bulldog branded ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card, the only card where you can earn rewards for everyday purchases while giving back to Gonzaga University. Choose from a Visa Rewards card with a lower rate or a Premier Rewards card with maximum rewards. With no annual fees, card control, and next-level security, you can spend smart from tap to app. Zags, rejoice! Find your card at iccu.com/GoZags on approved credit.
all right, so like going into that game, I think, we had to understand, like, we won easily, but didn't feel like we blew them out every time. You know what I'm saying? But also, like, we didn't feel we knew they could beat us. That's not what I'm saying. Like, they're good enough to beat us, but we felt like, personnel wise, we were better. Blah blah blah. Like, you just this is going to be quote unquote, I guess, an easier chance. But I gotta say, like, their defensive scheme in the first half, the double team stuff was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, they shrunk the floor the entire time. They were coming on the catch and pushing Graham out to like 18, 19 feet. And we just couldn't get in an offensive rhythm. I mean, we shoot 11-24, but it didn't feel like it. That's 46. But you know what I mean? It just was not rhythm at all. We got kind of lucky. I hate the word lucky, but fortunate that they only went 4 for 20 from three. They got some good looks, but our guys were also contesting and flying around. But they shot a ton of threes, obviously, in the first half. They go 13 of 33, so they don't shoot it well. We end up being down 4, 33-29, and I always thought we could have been down 10.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like sigh of relief, but it was also like we knew this team was good, is my point. Like, we knew Santa Clara was talented. They're playing on kind of house money. I think for them it was like, obviously they wanted to win the tournament, but I think probably in their minds they got into the NCAA tournament being St. Mary's, and
right.
unless you get absolutely blown out by us, then maybe you don't. But it's still like analytically, like we're pretty much in. I've heard they're going to be anywhere from a 7 to a 10, and I'd like to see them get a 7 or a 10. That 8-9 game sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Just because you most likely get your ass kicked in the second round, even if you win. Obviously there's upsets, but it's better when you can be a 7 or a 10. And I'd like to see them have a chance to win a couple games. Blah blah blah. But in that first half, they out rebounded us by 8. We had 10 assists, 6 turnovers. Not great. We turned it over. Like I said, we shot 46%, 4-11 from 3, which is not bad. 36%. Okay, we got to live with that. And we're awful at the free throw line. 3 of 9.
Yeah.
So it was, like I said, I felt okay about it, but their defensive plan was just terrific. Like they were shrinking the floor on everything. I think they ran a few zone plays, sequences, trying to get that. Graham only had 2 field goal attempts. He was 2 for 2 at 4 points. So like he couldn't get in a rhythm. He couldn't get a deep paint touch. Jalen, who's back, which was nice to see. Jalen Worley played all right. He had a bucket, but like everybody was just like Tyon had 8, was the only one who kind of gave us something in the first half. So I was sitting there like, man, we're lucky we're only down 4.
Really, yeah.
Defense was good, but it's like they missed a lot of threes that they could have made, and then they were, winning the rebounding battle, kind of pushing us in the back and getting all those things. And so it was a good first half, but I think the crowd was like begging to get into that game. You know what I mean? Like just like, come on, let's get something going. And then to start that second half, I thought our guys came out with a much better kind of mindset. Not that they were bad in the first half, but just like more, just like a downhill, more, front foot, whatever you want to put, like say is they were the aggressor, I guess, the hunter, and had a much better second half. Graham was terrific. He ends up going 7 of 7, has 15, hits a big 3 that got the crowd back into it on a trail.
Yeah.
Played all 40 minutes. He was terrific. Jalen didn't play much in the second half because I think that his leg was bothering. But my point is, like, having him out there is just like, okay, it's nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it just gives us so many different things and so many situations that he can kind of put fires out for us. And he's playing on, basically 1.5 or half a leg and grinding through it. So we got to give credit to kids nowadays too, because if you're listening, they're just like, well, you're supposed to do that for your team. Like, it's a transactional world now, man. You know what I'm saying? As far as NIL and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, it's easy to be like, fuck it, man, I'm not doing this shit. Like, I might get hurt, and I want to get paid next year, even though he's a senior. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It's not what it used to be, where guys were, like, no, you should play for the tradition and all that stuff. It's not as like that anymore. So when kids play through stuff, you got to give them credit, even though it's what you're kind of supposed to do. But I appreciate him, giving it a go and kind of grinding out for his teammates. You know
Definitely.
what I'm saying? Manny was okay, didn't shoot it well, but he played 37 minutes, was terrific defensively. He did a good job on the Mahi kid, who didn't have a good game, was good throughout the tournament, but he really slowed him down. Tyon was terrific, had 20 off the bench in 28 minutes, goes 7 for 11, 7 rebounds, terrific. Mario was probably the MVP of that game, goes 6 of 12 from 3, has 21, hit like 3 big threes in the second half.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Got the crowd into it, just was really steady. We flipped the rebounding. We won the rebounding in the second half. We were down, 8? We ended up down 6. So obviously we went +2 on the glass, figured that part out of the game in the second half. And then Davis Fogel was terrific. Had 13. This is a great line too. 13, 8, 6, 0 turnovers, 2 steals for a true freshman.
Yeah,
you get to see the talent. It's crazy how talented he is, and like he's not even close to being like cracking all of the like being like really good from 3. You know what I mean? Like it's just gonna get better.
Yeah,
because he's gonna improve and he's a hard work. Blah blah blah. Like he's you just see like the talent, and you're like, holy shit, when he like really tightens the screws on his total game, which he will, he's gonna be really good. You know what I mean? So you can just see it. I talked to a couple scouts down there, and they're hey, Adam, what's going on? So, yeah, who do you like? And I'm like, the number 4 kid. And they're like, because he hadn't played very much. I'm like, and they always like, oh, okay. And then one of the guys came after I saw him the next day. He's like, even the Oregon State game, like he only had like 7, but he's like, oh yeah, I see what you're seeing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, I see it. And I'm like, because you know what I mean? It's
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah. No, he can play. It's like, he's going to be there. It's just, might take a year and a half, which is fine. Like he's still a kid. But you just see the length, you see the, just the smarts, the scoops around the rim. Like he has these weird, he's like deceptively long.
Yeah.
Like he gets these reverses. You're like, that's not, oh shit, that went in. You know what I mean? Like that's a bad angle. And and you're like, holy fuck, man. Like, yeah, he was terrific. It was cool because they played, like kind of just like 6.5 guys in the second half and just went with, down the stretch with the lineup. I think it was Manny, Tyon, the 2 freshmen, and Graham,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So Coach Few, that's how it works, man. Like it gets tight and you just go with a lineup that's hooping, and rock with it. But again, it's funny at the start of the year, I said this on off there. I think I said it on there. Start of the year, man, we have so much depth, we got so much experience, and then we're playing 2 fucking true freshmen.
Yeah. No,
in the biggest game of the year. So like it's sometimes it's like nice, but like you're gonna rock with the guys that are hooping, and they both hooped, Mario and Davis. So it was cool to see both of them play well, and our guys battle through it. We ended up winning by 11, just pulled away. It was a total team effort. The Hammonds kid for them was terrific.
Yeah.
He's good, man. He was first team all league. You can see why he averaged like 16. He had 24 on 9 of 16. Wasn't taking the right shots, but making the right shots. He was scoring. Like I like to see guys like make the little jump hooks and shit. Nobody shoots that anymore. He was doing that, like willing himself to score. So it was a terrific game. We ended up we shot 52%. 10 of 25 from 3. You can't complain about that.
No, you can't.
That's 40%. The free throw line was terrible. It was good in the second half. We go 10 of 14, end up 13 of 23. So that's got it correct. But we made the free throws in the right time. And then, like I said, clean up the glass. But the big numbers: 24 assists, only 8 turnovers. Took care of the basketball. And win the WCC championship last time. It was cool, man.
That was cool.
Yeah.
After the game, I was sitting there talking to my son, and I was just like, I always forget how cool it is to win the WCC tournament. Like you kind of like take it for granted because you just expect to get to the NCAA tournament every year, but like to get that championship and to see the guys just like really just excited and
people have to realize too, and Coach Few's always done a good job about this, and our staff is like, don't take this stuff for granted. And a lot of times like it gets cliched around, but no, they always like, no, winning your league is hard. I don't give a shit what anybody says. And to do it consecutively or as many times as we have, and winning the conference tournament is hard, so celebrate it. And it was just cool. So I was proud as a former player. That was the last time WCC that we win it. I think it was just 27 straight years of the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
It's crazy. Like all the stats too, like that we own in that league. So it was fun to watch. I think obviously we were playing really good basketball at the right time. And I think stylistically it's going to matter in the NCAA tournament who we play. That's a big thing. That always is. But like for us, if an open court type of game is obviously going to bode well better for us. But it was nice not to play a fucking fist fight game. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Like everybody wanted to play St. Mary's again, but I also was like, I don't want to watch a 52-48.
Yeah.
Because remember we beat them last year. It was 55-50.
Yep.
And it was disgusting.
And
we won, but it was like just like it was like a fist fight. It was terrible. And it's not it's the whole deal. Like, well, playoff basketball or tournament. That's how it's supposed to. Like, not really, man. Like it's supposed to be physical and more intense. But let's not get to where we're in the 50s. Like, come on, man. Let's play.
Yeah.
So that part was cool. Santa Clara, like I said, I've heard 7 through 10, all the way from seeding. They're definitely in for sure. St. Mary's, I heard they got moved probably down a seed line, probably a 6 or 7, which is on par is what they usually are. And then from my understanding, we're a 3, maybe a 2 but basically solidified a 3 seed.
Right.
And hopefully we can be on this side of this deal. It's either Portland or San Diego, but that's easy flight for either of, our fan bases. So yeah, I was happy, man. It was really cool. Obviously just winning it, but the winning it the last time. Graham was tournament MVP, most outstanding player, which is rightfully so. That's harder than people think too, man. When you win the player of the year deal and then you got to go back it up, it's because everybody's all eyes are on you, blah blah blah, and you got to go like play good in the tournament. Like it's a lot of pressure, man. You got to be ready to go, and you can't have a stinker and then lose. You know what I'm saying? Like my junior year, we played the only tournament that was at Spokane. And I didn't play great. I don't think I won the MVP, but I just didn't feel like I played great. And we should have lost probably to LMU. They smoked a layup at the end of the game. Like Earl Knight got like literally a fingernail on it. Yeah. And but like the relief that we had because we were, during that time period, this is before the Vegas deal, and we used to always have the tournament either Santa Clara or at USD because they had the newer gyms. And Coach Few used to complain, and he was right. It was like, well, why do we have to? Whoever wins the conference should have the host the tournament, and that's kind of fair when you do it non-neutral,
right?
And some of the smaller conferences still do that, which I think it's great. And so we finally get it. We win the conference regular season, and then we literally I can still remember the play. Almost lost, but I remember after that I was like, holy shit, thank God, we can now refocus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure. And then just talking about Graham, I was obviously the league MVP and all the other stuff, but I was like, holy shit, we're gonna lose this game. I didn't play good, and I just won all these awards. You know what I mean? That's not good. So it's harder than people think. You got to go deliver. Obviously, all the focus is on you, and he was terrific. I mean, he goes 7 for 7, did not rush. He didn't take one bad shot where sometimes he shoots a couple bad fadeaways when he gets double teamed. You know what I mean? Where there's that's not a good shot, Graham, from 18 feet. He can make it, but it's just and then that spin dunk that he had was terrific. Got the crowd into it. You know what I mean? The atmosphere was terrific in the second half. Our fans really showed up and got into it. It was cool.
I was going to ask about the difference between the two games. The first game against Oregon State seemed like the crowd there's a lot less people there. Does it pack in for the championship?
No, there was a problem. They apparently the security line was so bad that there was, if you're at the Orleans, a lot of people that will understand that the line was all the way to the Alligator Bar. So that's people were waiting 30 minutes just to get in the fucking door.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, because they check bags, obviously. And so some of our fans didn't get in until 10 minutes left in the first half, and I'd be pissed off too. So people were chanting "Orleans sucks, Orleans sucks."
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah, so part of it, because I was thinking the same thing, where's our fans? I know it's the semis, but I was kind of pissed, just in my head, fuck guys. And then I was told a lot of us didn't even get in until 10. How pissed off I would be.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of it was funny too, because the Orleans is not the nicest casino in Vegas,
right?
And the arena is not the nicest, but it's how do I put this the right way? It's a dump, but it's our dump, right?
Right.
But then you're also God, this place is a piece of shit. It just is. It's just old, and the people are nice, and I'm not. The people really are nice.
Yeah.
It's just old. You know what I mean? It stinks. The bathrooms stink in the basement, they really do, and it's just gross. You know what I mean? And so you're kind of all right, we're gonna move on. But then you're also man, it's been 15 years. We've had some really good games.
Yeah.
Some really good moments. Blah blah blah. I mean, we could talk about them the whole episode of all-time classic games, all-time classic performances. It's great for our fan base to go be able to get to Vegas. You see a lot of people, and a lot of people just pencil it in every year as their chance to go watch the Zags, which is awesome.
That is awesome, yeah.
But yeah, they were not happy with that. Yeah,
that's too bad.
I heard it was two people working a line when it should have been 4 doors, and just getting people in. And I know you got to have security, but clear bag, okay, let's go. Just open it up, let's go. You know what I mean? But whatever. So that was the reason for the Oregon State was kind of dead. But they delivered fan base wise in the second game. They were awesome, like great energy, got behind our guys. There was multiple big time plays. You know, that lob to Fogel on the baseline was terrific.
That was cool.
And then he had where he's, you know, he got out the top of the key and then he basically ran a flat ball screen and he refused it, and then he did the finger roll. I thought he was going to try to punch it, but he finger rolled and won. You know what I mean? Like, and then Mario hitting threes.
Yeah,
it was just cool atmosphere. I had goosebumps, man, and it was nostalgic because it's like I've called, you know, a shit ton of games in there too. And it's cool when you win it, and then it's like, man, this is crazy. We're not gonna ever play probably any of these teams ever again. It's just weird. That is weird. It's trippy, but awesome for our guys.
I'm gonna just ask Adam a question, presented by Idaho Central Credit Union.
The Perimeter will be right back after a word from our sponsor.
It's time for Home Team Rewards. Zag fans, get your Bulldog branded ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card, the only card where you can earn rewards for everyday purchases while giving back to Gonzaga University. Choose from a Visa Rewards card with a lower rate or a Premier Rewards card with maximum rewards. With no annual fees, card control, and next level security, you can spend smart from tap to app. Zags, rejoice! Find your card at iccu.com/go Zags on approved credit.
I'm gonna just ask Adam a question, presented by Idaho Central Credit Union. It's from Pamela on Instagram, and she said that late in the Santa Clara game, Adam talked about how the energy in the arena changed. When you were playing, how much could you actually feel the crowd affecting the game?
A ton, man. Like, honestly, like it's a real thing. Home court advantage is a real thing, and that's why that building and that atmosphere has been great for us because it's like a home game. You know, all these other universities don't travel as well as us. So yeah, it makes a huge difference. Playing on the road's hard, especially when you're getting razzed and all that stuff. So yeah, when the crowd's into it, it definitely matters. I think home court matters the most in all the sports. You can argue football, obviously, but you gotta have a terrific atmosphere there. But like, it matters.
Yeah.
So yeah, for our guys, I mean, you could see them; they're pumping everything. You know what I mean? And then like, our student section was 2 full sections packed. It's cool for those students too to go down and you know, be kids, you know what I mean, and have fun in Vegas and all that stuff. So it was cool, man.
I forget who it was, but I remember seeing it was after someone. I think Santa Clara called a timeout, and we had made a big shot, and someone, it might have been Davis or someone, they turned around and they gave a fan a high five, and I was just like, that's cool.
Sweet, yeah. No, it's a good basketball arena because it's small. But it's a piece of shit too. It is.
Are we moving up next year to a bigger arena?
I don't want a bigger arena. I just want it to be the same size, or maybe. Here's what my hope is, but obviously that's whatever the conference wants to do. But when you go to these conference tournaments, you can't be in like a NBA sized arena because not everybody travels, and it's a shitty environment when it's 1/4 full or even half full sometimes. So go to these 8,000 and below arenas, and there's probably 4 of them in Vegas, counting the Orleans, but there's the Michelob one, there's the Park MGM one, T-Mobile's the big one that everybody's thinking of, but it's like, no, please. So hopefully they go back to Vegas, which I think they will, because it just makes it's easiest for everybody to get there. But hopefully they stay in the smaller deals, because even if our fans show up what they always do, we're not filling T-Mobile.
No,
not even close.
Right.
So like, you want the atmosphere and, you know, all those things you want, and it's a TV product too. You want to look good on TV. Like, have you ever noticed, like, when you watch other games or even like football games, when they're just like nobody in the crowd, they never like pan out. It's like hard.
Right. Yeah.
They just keep it right there.
Keep it right there.
So it's like that's part of it. And so I hope that we just like go to the Park MGM or the Michelob one, like I said, because those are like 8 to 10, but they usually, you know, curtain it off at the top. But it's a small venue, so that's what I hope. But obviously I don't know. But Pac-12 used to play there right after us. Their tournament used to always be right after ours.
That's Orleans.
Just in Vegas.
Just the same week. Like,
just in Vegas.
Just in Vegas.
It would just start like we'd end Tuesday or whatever. No, we actually used to play Monday. We had to go Saturday, Monday. Remember that? 'Cause we couldn't play on Sunday. And then they would start, but they used to do. They used to play at like think it was the park or something. Anyway,
Yeah.
hopefully it stays small.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Real quick on the McGillivrays Foundation players of the tournament. I mean, I have Ike listed as the Oregon State, but then I mean Mario Davis Vogel, and then also Tyon Grant Foster. Like there was some that second game was such a team effort, and it was so much fun to watch. Like the way the ball was pinging, like it felt like a team win, and it was just great watching Mario make threes. Like I don't even think we've had a game like that where we felt like someone was on.
Yeah, no, I agree. You could take 4 guys essentially from both those games of just delivering. But yeah, Mario was terrific. Goes 6 for 12. That's the only field goals he took was from 3, which I think is not a bad strategy. I'm obviously mixing your twos, but like he should take 10 threes a game. He's one of those guys. And then, like you said, Tyon, I mean, he has 20 off the bench. Yeah. Gives us 7 rebounds as well. And then I talked about Davis's line. I mean, it's 13, 8, and 6, no turnovers, 2 steals.
Yeah.
Right? It's in like on 7 attempts, you know what I mean? So the production was there. And then Graham goes so like, yeah, it was just the 4 guys could have easily got that, and they were terrific, and it was fun to watch.
Yeah. Going to the M4 CPA stat of the week, the one I really wanted to feature is with the win against Santa Clara, Gonzaga hit 30 wins again. And Mark Few is the 4th coach since 1999-2000 season with 30 wins in at least 9 seasons.
Yeah, it's crazy how much the records that he has and the dominance, and it's you got to remind people sometimes of that, and it's not from a you have to like this team. It's just like we're pretty good, man. Like and then when we like when we lost to Portland, and you read the comments like, "I'm been a fan for 25 years. I hate watching this team." It's like, what are you talking about? You just had one fucking loss. Like, God, dude. Like sometimes it's like really annoying, and I try to be a neutral. Well, okay. But some people are just so like, oh my God, we can't win anything now. So we lost to Portland. It's like, God, man, like, yeah, okay, man. You're just like, it's like sometimes it's like they're not even young players, and then also like everybody else is just dog shit. Like that, nobody can make a shot. You know what I mean? Like they're just. Or then when we show up and we have Gonzaga on our jerseys, they're just going to not play hard. You know what I mean? So like sometimes that's what gets annoying. It's like. Happens, man. Like, but we're 30-3, man. Like
that's great. Yeah,
and we lost. For the majority of half of our season, our leading field goal percentage. He was leading the country and averaging 17 points a game. Yeah, he's not even playing. Braden Huff. Yeah. So like the way this team is banded together and the styles and how they've had to play defensively, it's been. Terrific. You got to give Coach Few and the staff credit, man. Like, everybody sometimes just assumes that you just get all the good players and you don't have to do anything. Now, you have to, there's real-time coaching and real adjustments, and they've done that this year. And, Graham missed 3 games and we were fine. Yeah. Right? So, our guys did an excellent job. I think they're going to put us at a 3 seed. That's what everybody says in the West. I'll be curious to see – because Arizona is probably going to get that West one. Ooh. So it'd be. I guarantee, the TV execs are just begging to see that matchup happen. And they're obviously really good. But yeah, have us as a 3 right now. Be curious.
Yeah, Fox has us as a 3 as well. It doesn't list where the seeds are at, but yeah, it seems like 3 is the most consistent number right now.
And I think it's on par. Like, you could argue maybe for 2, but the 2 lines are usually, like the teams that are just right outside the top 10 or right outside the top 5, basically. You know what I mean? And usually are in the bigger conferences. So a 3 is fine. You can't get hung up too much on seeds. I think the year... Was it last year when we got the 8-9? That's where I thought we got fucked over. Because remember, we thought 6 or 7, and then we got the 8-9. It's like, damn it, man! Because it's just hard to win that second game, and you're playing in 1. You know what I mean? And so you obviously have the ability to. And we took Houston all the way down the wire. Remember, we had a chance to tie it in the corner, and so but it's just 6 or 7. That's even better. So. Yeah, I think 3 is terrific, and I think that's what's going to happen, but you never know. But all the analytics say we're 3. So, yeah, it's been a terrific year. We'll find out Selection Sunday. We'll have an episode Monday once we find out where we're at, and we'll have a breakdown of who we're playing and then potential and things of that nature. But couldn't be more proud to be a Zag, honestly. Couldn't be more proud of these guys understanding the moment, winning a regular season championship, and then backing up with a tournament championship is the best way to go out.
Yeah.
16-2 in the league. Pretty good.
That's really good.
Really good. And 30-3, you know, like it's a pretty good year so far. And let's see what we get in the tournament. The tournament too, people need to sometimes understand it's matchups, man. Like obviously seeds matter, but like when you look at who we're potentially going to play, that's when you look at personnel and style is what matters, most, I think, than just the number by the seed. You know what I mean? So like sometimes there's, if you play 11 or something, that's a worse matchup than the 6 would be. It happens, you know what I mean, or whatever, just theoretically. So that's what we'll dive into once we hear Selection Sunday. I guess we probably got to talk about the documentary thing.
Oh yeah, I was gonna. You were in that, and and like I watched it on Saturday night with my kids, and you went to the premiere here.
Yep, I went to the premiere. It was good.
Yeah.
So here's the backstory of it. It was filmed 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So when they were talking about that like Kentucky game, what originally the thought was it was supposed to, they were following us the entire year, or not the entire, most of that year, like would pop in and pop out. So they were trying to do it kind of like The Last Dance, where they were talking about one season and then they would go throughout the history. So I interviewed with them probably 6 or 7 times.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, remember they came in and interviewed us?
Yeah.
They went to one of my daughter's games, had me mic'd up, just watching her play. So they were trying to do backstories on certain guys as well.
Right.
So when there's, how do I put this the right way and make sure I say it the right way? When there's guys that probably should have been in there telling the story, it just got cut down because of how it was going to be presented to the public. So it really, the movie's terrific.
Yeah.
And obviously they portrayed me in a good light and all that stuff, so I was happy for that. But the only thing I was disappointed for, and it's just not anybody's fault, and it wasn't done on purpose, is like there's a lot of guys that you could have told more about. But also the average public wouldn't care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it's hard as a hardcore Zag, and you're a hardcore fan, and there's a lot of hardcore fans that you felt like guys got like Rody Turioff's not even in that, baby.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
blah blah blah. You could talk about him. The Elite 8 team that lost to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
That team had Killian Tilly, Zach Norvell, who's on staff, BC. I think it was Rui, J3. Like they went to Elite 8, they didn't even get one mention.
Yeah. No.
You know what I'm saying? And then the 2015 team that beat UCLA in the Sweet 16. Everybody forgets that game and lost to Duke in that Elite 8 when we had Sabonis and Gary and Pangos. That team didn't even get mentioned. They just went to Elite 8. You know what I'm saying? So like it was hard, and the director and the producers were terrific, and they filmed like 7 hours worth of just stuff. So I don't know. I'm not pervy to like why it got cut down, but there was more stories that were gonna be told, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So like everybody likes it. I thought it was well done, but also like some guys were like, I wish we would have, not in a bad way, but like I was like, man, Rony Turioff like kind of changed the culture here because he was the first international big, and then we went on a run. That was part of our deal. Like, how do you find these fucking bigs from over the water? He was the first guy. He was at INSEP. He was on the French national team that won the 18 Euros with Tony Parker, Boris Diaw. Like he was in that club.
Yeah,
and he just came to fucking Gonzaga like because he liked Tommy Lloyd. Like, but he changed the whole deal.
He did. Yeah,
and then other guys followed him. So my point is, like, that was the only thing that was not disappointing, but you wish that those stories could be told, but also you have to present it to the public that just has no idea about Gonzaga basketball. So it was hard. But, you know, like I said, it was cool. I went to the premiere. All the players were there. It was a nice event. They had it at the Bing or whatever, the Bing Theater, which is a cool little deal. And yeah, it was cool. I took my daughters, and you know they liked that shit, and it was cool for them to see it. And
I didn't have to watch it with commercials.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like we got to hammer through it. And what was cool was Coach Few didn't see it before, so they let it, you know, they kind of were like, no, don't watch it, just so you can kind of be surprised. I thought he did a terrific job. Like he was brutally honest, and you know he's not into that type of stuff. He's he just never has been, and it's been his personality. So he like opened up a little bit to tell the story the right way.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was cool. It was like, man, there's some teams that just kind of got left out on that deal, you know. And then it's like but
I watched a lot of documentaries, and I loved it. The story, just being able to I've always wanted a Gonzaga documentary, because I feel like there's been some, like we had this, HBO followed the season.
Yeah.
But like, I just wanted that was great, but you could make that into like a 4-part episode series. Like
I think their original thought was they were going to do this was going to be like 3 or 6 episodes.
Oh, okay.
And then they were going to follow the team and then tell the stories. You know, because they interviewed a ton of dudes. And like I said, I interviewed like 6 or 7 times. Not even kidding. Yeah. And like it wasn't just about, you know, what about the UCLA game? It was like, what are you doing in your life? What about this year, your sophomore year? And you know what I mean? And just like really in depth. And then asking me like, well, what about this guy? Because you obviously been around the program. What was his best trait? You know what I mean? So like that was cool. But you know, like you get on, you're like, oh, they used 2 clips,
right?
You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I obviously can't make films, and the guy David Check who did it was absolutely terrific with everybody. But it was cool. But I know a lot of fans were excited about it. And when I was in Vegas, a lot of people were complimenting, like, "Oh, you were great." And I was like, "Thanks." Yeah, it was honest. You know what I mean? And but like I said, it was cool for my kids, especially just to kind of see that and then see
that is when I showed it. That's why I watched it with my kids. I was just like, it's so easy to like tell my kids like how great Gonzaga's always been, and like tell the stories, and like because like Link's he's a baller. He loves basketball. He loves history, and I'm like this. And the whole time he's like asking me questions. Do you remember that? I'm like, I remember it. Like, but like it kind of puts it into perspective for like the younger generation who have always just experienced Gonzaga being good.
That's the part. I think that's what is nice is we have fans, and this is no fault to them. Have been fans for a decade, and they have no idea that like we were scratching and clawing for at the beginning of this, and even in my years, like Coach Few was like his 5th year as a head coach. Yeah. Like he's totally different than he is now. But like we weren't 5-star recruits, 4-star recruits. Like nobody even, you know what I mean? Yeah. We didn't have a fucking practice facility. We flew commercial most of the time. We didn't have training table. We had to go walk our ass to the cafeteria. You know, it's not a boo-hoo thing, but it was like, and then we had a shitty weight room that was up by the day court. It was a piece of shit, but they had weights in it. We lifted our ass. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of this stuff we had to scratch and claw, but like that's the genesis, or that's the whole point with Gonzaga and the culture is like every group usually makes it better for the next, and it does feel good. You're like, oh man, yeah, you guys you earn a practice facility. You know what I'm saying? It's never like, we didn't have that. It's bullshit. It's like, no, we just didn't have it. Wasn't as nationally known, and we've gotten to here. And then it was nice they told the story of the 17 game where they brought us in. That was actually really cool. I think they were talking to Matt Santangelo about it. Yeah, but it was a neat experience because we were in the. So like Few invited everybody down. His first Final Four. It was like, hell yeah, man! Like we're going to this shit, and then they're like, okay, there's a team event tonight, and nobody knew what it was going to be. So you're just like, all right, it's nice to see everybody, and then he's like, well, Coach Few wants you, and then they literally started a video, and like it showed highlights of like all of our teams and the guys, and like it got you like, and they really did a really good job. It was like a 5-10 minute video, and like got you fucking pumped.
Yeah.
And then like they were dapping us all. It was just cool, man, because you were like, holy shit. But Fewy did a good job of like, hey man, you guys are part of this. So that was really cool that they told that story.
Yeah.
I was really proud when I was part of that too. It was like, oh, you know, thanks, man. You know what I mean? But like, you guys are the ones playing, but it's like they understood the ramifications of getting to that and understanding what it meant. You know, and then yeah, I thought it was well done.
Yeah.
And I would say if I thought otherwise, you know, but like I said, the only thing that is a little bit rough is some of the teams that didn't get mentioned, but it wasn't on purpose or anything like that. I think it's just how they present it to the general public.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But it's also like there's a shit ton of film. Like, I wonder if somebody could buy that and just edit it themselves and add, you know, just do another one or something. I don't know, but like, who knows? But that would have to be probably like just localized deal. But anyway, I don't know how the film industry works or anything like that. I have no clue what like the rights are and
I think it gets very complicated when production companies get into it.
When you have to who you got to pay and you owe what, and then you know what I mean. You deal with it like, what music can we put on?
Right,
you know, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, we got to buy licensed music.
Yeah,
or get people to or get to buy the music from someone.
Yeah,
but it's free on Tubi. So
so check it out if you haven't seen it. It's good, especially if you're a Zag fan, and it's a good piece. And you know, especially like the early years, like people don't realize like this university like almost didn't happen.
Yeah, that was this mind blown moment. I did not know that.
I always heard about it, but I didn't know it was that drastic.
Yeah,
and it's crazy, but like it easily could have been like, you know, Whitworth University's terrific up north, North Spokane. There's D3, but it's no different. Like the education's probably the same as Christian school, Jesuit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just like, we'll just be D3, be a bus league, and we'll just ride a bus to games.
Definitely.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
We could have been that.
That would have.
Then
crazy,
this stuff literally doesn't exist. None of it exists, obviously. So that part was crazy. I was a ball boy when Fitzgerald was a coach there, and I remember my dad used to walk up and. It was like 95 when they were good. 95, 96, I think, when I was I can't remember the exact years, but I was a 4th grader, 5th grader. And my dad used to just come to the games with me and walk up and buy like a $4 ticket. Just walk into the kennel. And we were good. But that's just how it was. And it was good hoops. But like the old kennel was like kind of dumpy.
Yeah. It was like a high school
basically.
Gym, right?
Yeah, it was had no end line seats, and then obviously you know, they kept building more seats because they got, obviously, once they got good, especially the Elite 8 run, they started adding, like, you know, back seats and all that stuff. But it was literally, like, just fucking bleachers with a, you know, worn-out number, and you can sit right here, or you can sit right there, who cares? And
you scoot in together?
Yeah, you kind of have to scoot in, but it was rocking when it was live. But, yeah, people don't realize, like, it's a long road, man.
Yeah.
And so after winning this and being a part of the WCC, it's nostalgic, man. It's like we've been in this league. I think, how do you say, we're like 41 years or something like that.
Wow.
And now it's gone. So
yeah.
I'll be curious to see what happens to the league after, because they're adding University of Denver. I think UC Davis. Thought maybe somebody. Anyway, how the league looks in 5 years from now.
Yeah.
So anyway, go watch the movie. We'll be on Monday after Selection Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll give a recap, or we'll talk about matchups and all that stuff, and break down who, if, what, where, when, all that stuff, and move forward. We have an interview that we're going to put out probably right around before the game or right the day after the game. For NCAA, or for the NCAA tournament, so be excited for that. We're not going to tell you who, but let's be good.
Yeah, I'm excited for people to listen to it.
Yeah, it's a good one, and so we have that. But we're teasing it for a specific reason, and that's all we're going to say about it. So
I also wanted to give a shout out to our filmographer Matt Green, who he went down to Vegas to capture the final
Yeah.
WCT tournament, and he like just got some excellent film. And
He came up and talked to me. He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'm your videographer. I'm like, cool. Thanks. I was like, but he was a cool dude, and he said he still plays pickup with Rav. Derek Ravios is cool. You know what I mean? We talked for a little bit, but he's a nice guy. And honestly, I was like, hey, thanks. You do good work too. So like, helps our show out and makes it more engaging for the fans. So it was cool.
Definitely.
But yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to our sponsors, obviously, Idaho Central Credit Union, McGillivray Environmental, M4 CPA. See you next week.
Awesome.